That's the one we haven't done. Yeah.
That's Alice Ford. Oh no, it's Anne Hines.
Hines, yeah. Who's that man there? I know his face now, but
I think he's from my.
Let me see now if.
And that's old Mrs. Hines here, and the children are Hineses.
And who's that lady who's holding that girl?
She's from Norgren.
I'd say she's Peter Brand's sister. She looks like Mary Kate Brand anyway.
Oh, right. Okay. That's Mrs. Hines. All right, definitely. I wonder who he is.
I forget now.
And I wonder who those three.
Oh, they're her daughters.
And Hines' daughters.
This is definitely the oldest girl.
Teresa.
Teresa.
No, what's the oldest girl's name?
Anne, was it?
It's Teresa Magella and Mary.
Yeah, that's the oldest. Yeah.
This is Magella, anyways. I think she's the girl on the farm. She's the girl on the farm.
Oh, right.
She's married down there.
And,
I think that's actually going back. I think that's actually Mick O'Loughlin again.
Yeah.
I think it is.
It looks like him, all right.
but that's not the same fella now that you were talking about before as Mick O'Loughlin, though.
I say that's the real Mick O'Loughlin.
That could be the real Mick O'Loughlin now. I wouldn't argue with that one at all. No, the other man I'm nearly certain is Mick McInerney, yeah. Do you know his daughter-in-law worked inside McMahon's there? Isn't that, what's the song?
Oh yeah, Patrick's wife, yeah.
Patrick's wife, yeah. I'd say it was Mick McInerney. But I could be proved no wrong. Somebody will ring up now and say.
That's Paddy Kilkelly in Seymour.
Do you remember him?
Yes.
Now, where is that taken?
That's taken up.
That's the castle, right?
Yeah, the windmill would be on the right of the picture. The water tower.
Oh, right. Up on the Gorse Road.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, of course, that'll end up there, right? Yeah. And whose house is that?
Would that have been Tom Murphy's house then at the time?
I'd say so.
Mike
Yeah,
Burke
that's the one at the
lived?
back of the water tower.
All right. Now, I said in one of the programs, the Hidden Kinvara programs, that during the famine, that his house where he was living was taken over, or was not taken over, was used as a fever hospital. But Martin Green was telling me that there was another Kilkelly's, which was down where Mary O'Shaughnessy and Jerry lived, and it could have been there because they had a shop as well.
Because his house was right up in the middle of the town, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but there was a shop in it. Because I remember
Credit Union.
Yeah, I remember going into it when I was young, and there were all shelves and stuff in it.
There's a photograph taken in a shop that's in the old Kinvara, in the book of old photographs of Kinvara.
Is there?
And that's where it was. There was a woman standing outside the door of a little shop that was across the road, just at the corner. That picture's in.
Oh, that could be down to Murphy's song.
At that corner there.
Yeah.
And
there's a man in pensive mood.
And the lads in the picture, I know them, but I can't place them. It's just the Last Supper.
I leave that to you, other lads.
Very definitely the Last Supper.
That's Michael Fahey's mother here.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
The woman there?
Yeah.
Michael Fahey and Doris.
Nagra, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't think that was her, but I wouldn't. Which one? No, that woman or that woman?
Yeah. This woman is her neighbour across the road, and this is Carty.
Oh, right, okay.
It's the woman, she's bleached out there, you can hardly see her.
Oh, yeah. Mrs. Carty and
Mrs. Hines came here.
Mrs. Hines.
And
that's Kathleen
Kane
in
Cannamadra.
Oh, wow.
And that's P.J. Welch's daughter, I'd say, isn't it?
Right.
And that's a young Tekla Birmingham's daughter, isn't it?
Oh, I think, that's Selma and Tekla.
Yeah.
That's definitely Selma here.
And there's Kevin, isn't that Kevin Hoobin?
Oh, no, I would
That
say.
has to be Kevin Hoobin. Come on, have a look at that there. That's his face.
It's just an old man. I think
not.
that's Maisie's face.
No,
the glasses.
It wouldn't be Kevin Hoop because he wouldn't have been at the senior citizens parties unless he was up there to pick somebody up.
Oh, there's a woman. I think I see earrings.
I'd say it's Maisie again. If you were saying
There was
that
someone
one
with
before.
long side locks and a moustache is definitely a woman.
So we can't go any further than that.
Yeah, that's definitely three ladies in
the huddle there. Okay. So that's Michael Fahey's mother.
Yeah.
I would never have known her now. And Mrs. Carty. Remember that? I know Kathleen Kane, all right. And we'll see Tom Donlan and Francie again. That's it. Now,
would this be Esty? I wonder. It looks kind of like maybe her.
Huh?
It wouldn't be an SD60, but it looks like, well, I don't know. It's
hard to tell.
yeah, very hard.
Back somebody's head.
To be hard to tell that now, because like if number one, because it's so long ago to figure out who it is. So that's it, lads. That's
Wow.
the lot.
That's fantastic.
And that will all be coming out on Kinvara Community Radio. It'll come out as visual. Our voices will be
Okay.
attached to the.
And well edited. One hopes.
Yeah. Well, I you would. I don't think anybody said anything that was hurtful to anybody anyway, or to the family.
That's why I didn't leave the room.
But just what it does now is it gives a kind of a basis to those people. So when people are looking at this, I'm thinking in terms of 100 years' time.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. I mean,
But it'd be an archive, and people would be looking up at this archive and they'd be saying, "Who are those people? And what the hell are they doing?" Or,
There's a lot of other ones there too, of classes and things up in Seamount, but they'd be much younger. There'd be different people that'd be able to identify those.
yeah, so we'll put those up. I'll put those up. You see, for the Seamount past pupils, and let them identify who they are, and then they can do a program to put the names on them, you know, and like those ones, like if people like me, my age, when we pass on, a lot of those people there, people aren't going to know.
Absolutely.
You know, like Thomas, a few years yet of me there, he'll be able to identify them for another 10 years or 15 years.
But at the best of times, I wouldn't have known an awful lot of them. You know, they'd be just people I'd know to see, like the people you see at Mess.
Yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily know their names. Anyway.
So now we'll have them and they'll be archived. Because Eilish is very interested in this, Eilish Kavanagh, in archiving them.
Okay.
And when you have researchers coming along, like we are, like, look how interested we are now in photographs, and old photographs.
Absolutely.
And how interested even young people are. Look at the response. Those ones that I put up there, your photographs now that I put up, there were thousands of hits in them. Thousands. Literally.
And being wrong is as good as being right, because people feel that they have to respond, you know.
Yeah. So like people are very interested in them, and we just want to give them some kind of background to the people that are on those photographs for the future. And like the technology exists for it now, and it would be a pity not to do it. Do you know?
Yeah, I have so many more as well. Like I've taken later, you know, down the community centre and places of people like that.
There'd probably be a lot of. You see, if you do the senior citizens groups, there's probably a lot of then repetition of them. They'd be coming in for ages. You know,
the same people would be.
Yeah. Now we were lucky. Like you had that you had actually photographed or videoed some of the plays, and it was a pity we hadn't done them all. But there you go. Like it was great to have the ones that had the ones that we did, and put them up, and they'll be there as well on Mixcloud forever. And they would, the people in the hall and
do you know the video of the bicycle race passing through Kinvara? You didn't put that one up yet, because there's a lot of faces in that.
That's right, yeah. No, I have.
What year was that?
I probably have it up on my own.
I forget what year now. It was the time, I think in 1987, Stephen Roach won the Tour de France. So it was years following that.
Okay.
They had the Nissan Tour of Ireland, and they came through Kinvara and they did a video, and there's a lot of people out on the street watching it. So
what we'll do though, the ones that we have to put up, we'll instead of put photographs up, we'll put them up like this, where they'll go up with us looking at them and trying to identify who they are and talking about them.
Okay.
Because I think it's better from an archival point of view.
Yeah.
What do you think?
But it works with photographs better than it does with the video, because the video you have to add the audio onto the already existing.
Oh, you have it. They're all in video, or they're in video form. That thing that one will come through the town.
Yeah,
they are in video form.
already.
Yeah. Okay, no, I'll put them up though, because I mean there's a lot of stuff in it to be put up, and it'll be great to see how they turn out. So what I was saying to John, what I'll do with them is we'll put them up in we say 4 bits.
Yes.
Because my experience now of doing the Hidden Kinvara is that people's attention span is about 10 minutes or 11 minutes
Oh yeah, that'd be about it.
at a time. So we put them up one at a time.
Yeah,
So with
yeah.
maybe 10 or 11 photographs in it.
It'll burst.
And our comments, and then next week we put up another burst of them like that, rather than putting them all up together.
And of course, if we're proved wrong about somebody, it'd be great. When
Hopefully that people will be able to call us up and say, "Oh, that was my mother that was there. That wasn't Mrs. So."
That's the best way to get information from people as well, is to tell them something that you know was wrong, and they'll correct you.
Yeah. But it was great. So thanks very much for doing it.
Great pleasure.
We'll hopefully have access to you again on another occasion.
If there's a hunger for it, I mean, I could go to a lot more. You know?
Well, we'll see now what response will come to those. I'd be conscious of whether people are interested in it.
Yeah.
But I put up that thing, that one that you did about the threshing.
Yeah.
First of all, when we put up the one that you did over the mass, I was very afraid of that. And I was afraid to put the word mass down in it, because knowing the profile of people in Kinvara now, when they have to go to the mass, they mightn't be bothered. So we put down just the historical thing, the chalice, and there was 4,500 hits on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so it was a big interest. And similarly then with all the other things, like there was a couple of thousand hits on all of them. So, and particularly in the threshing one had there was 3,500 hits on that or something. You know, so and people are interested in them. There's great interest in that, and I know from what John said. No, I can't find the numbers in my own in the surface of how many people look at the photographs, but he showed me in his one. He can check them, and there were thousands of hits on them. So you don't get some of them. A lot of them don't comment on them, but there's not a lot of people who look at them.
Well, I know if you're looking at things yourself, you rarely comment.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they know to men of your standards that it'll be quality stuff.
But what I think is nice is that you had them, that you have an archive of all those things that happened in Kinvara over the last 40, 50 years nearly, and that they're available.
Well, the earliest ones I took would have been 1978.
78. Yeah. So that we're talking about then 42, 50...
43.
So from that forward, I have a lot of pictures of people.
Yeah, by 22 and 40, like nearly 50 years basically. And that's great to have an archive of those things. There's so many places that wouldn't have that, And we're lucky to have it. And with the technology that exists...
Well, Kinvara has a photographic archive going back over 100 years, really, because Martin Green's father.
That's right.
And Thomas Quinn.
Yes.
So
absolutely. You see them there on trough, like people have them up on trough. They probably all came from you, though. Most of them.
But all those photographs that were taken for the trough. I used to put on slideshows for the old folks as well. Yeah. Which they loved.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get Michael McInerney up there in Chessie, where he's living, to let me copy that photograph of Drumharsna with the buildings opposite it for a program of Hidden Kinvara about the Naughton.
Oh, you mean the one at the castle and the billets where the
billets across the road from it? Yeah.
I'm sure I have a copy of that.
Have you?
Since the exhibition.
Have you?
I'm sure I have.
Because I want to use it for a program on Hidden Kinvara to show how the Lucknans came through Kinvara and were laid out in Heinz's and all that, and then went off and had the mass for them here, and they went up to Shenaglis. But I haven't heard from them. Austin McInerney is supposed to be looking into it from me, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I did have a copy of that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Would you see if you have it?
I could, yeah.
Yeah, see if it is around. So we'll leave it at that.
And that the old photographs that I had of Kinvara, I gave them to Jerry Ryan. Like he would have copied them as well.
Oh, right, okay.
He might have a copy of it.
Okay.
That's Jared, the photographer.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I had a book of old photographs, and it was just lying there, so I thought that he might have more use for it than I had.
Yeah. Well, like there's so many photographs, that you could put up about things. Like the teams will identify themselves. That's the thing about it. If we can get them the time to do that, they'll know who they are.